Hey everybody, welcome to Dave's garage slash gun room slash whatever. We're going to be checking out this today. Silencer Co. 22 caliber suppressor. Not a solvent trap. By the way, hit like, hit subscribe. Help the algorithms. It costs you nothing. Go click, click, help a brother out. Anyway, yeah, I went and got my first suppressor. You know, I hadn't bought one in the past just because I'm like, what do I need it for? But also, the paperwork and waiting a year or better part of a year and, all that kind of stuff, to me was, kind of a pain in the ass. And so I wanted, I just kind of waited. I didn't really do anything about it. And so I went ahead and finally I said, you know what? It takes as long as it takes. So let's go ahead and give it a whirl. So I figured I'd start with something cheap. So I started with a 22. 22 makes a good suppressor. You can plink with it. It's cheap to shoot. Especially if you're shooting a 22 out of a rifle barrel. It's not that loud to begin with. I mean, I wouldn't say you wouldn't want to have hearing protection on it, but it's not that loud. 22 out of a short barrel can be. So always be safe. Use the right stuff. But with a suppressor, if I had to dispatch a rabid raccoon in the backyard, or if I was doing pest control, or I wanted to quietly snipe some coyotes within 100 yards where I could get a headshot with the rifle, I was like, you know what? The price of the suppressor is under $200, or under $300, just under $300. The tax stamps and everything else brought it up to $550. But for $550, you can get a nice suppressor. This one does allow you to take it apart and take all the stuff out. So if you've got to clean the chambers, clean the bore, get the lead out, stuff like that, you can go ahead and do that. Otherwise, just leave it sealed. I'm going to put like 500 rounds through it because 22 is a pretty dirty round. They said don't worry so much about the carbon buildup, but the lead buildup. Being that I use almost exclusively jacketed rounds, I'm hoping it's not too much of an issue, but we'll see. So, what am I going to put it on? I've got two. So the first one is my Taurus TX22 Compact. So this is I don't remember how many rounds this one is. I want to say it's like 15, something like that. I don't know, it's 14, 15, 16, something like that. I think the full-size one's 18 or 19. But, so you've got a nice little 22 semi-auto. It does have an external safety. It's got decent sights. It is also tapped and has a plate for if you wanted to put an optic. I'm going to put a cheap, like a Romeo 10 or whatever the cheap one is. It's like 129 bucks. I'm going to put that red dot on this. Because with the height of the suppressor, I don't know if I'll be able to actually use the sights, so I'll probably switch to a red dot. So how does one use it? Well, this barrel came threaded, had a little cap. I don't know where I put it here, somewhere on the desk. The barrel was threaded, had a little cap, looked like a normal barrel, until you screw that off, and in the box, and then I bought an extra one just in case I lose one, is the threading adapter that goes from the skinny barrel to a standard thread pitch for a 22 suppressor. Gun is unloaded. It's never been fired. Empty magazine. See? Everything's safe. Nothing in it. I don't want to hear anything. You're pointing it at the camera. It's a camera. It's my phone. And it's unloaded. Stop whining. So, how does one use this? Well, it's simple. Kind of like how you see in the movies. You just lightly thread this thing on. Being careful not to cross-thread it, of course. And you don't have to overly crank it. You will want to check it once in a while to make sure it hasn't, loosened up. But just kind of go, and that's all it needs to be. Don't over-torque it. And now you have a suppressed 22 pistol. I actually can use the iron sights with this. So I may put a red dot on it anyway. But it does allow me to get a pretty nice sight picture. In fact, that suppressor is not, because it's so narrow, it's really like these aren't even suppressor height sights. But this is actually perfect. Doesn't interfere in any way. So that'll be interesting to go to the range and plink with that. you know, 22 is not exactly a powerful caliber. However, you still don't want to get shot with it, especially at close range. You could still hit the heart. You could still hit arteries. You could still hit the central nervous system, the spine. You can still penetrate the skull. So 22 could still mess you up, but you've got a nice suppressed 14 or 15 plus one, whatever the capacity on the compact is. I know it's over 10, and you've got really nice. And with a with the red dot on it would be even nicer, I think. So the only downside to this one is that when you want to clean the weapon, take it down, to take it down fully, you will have to remove that threaded barrel adapter, because otherwise you're not going to get the barrel to slide out of the slide, you know, to get in it and clean it. So that's the only thing. So keep a wrench around. I don't know what size it is. I've got an adjustable wrench somewhere. I just used the damn thing. Probably put it down somewhere. In any case, to remove it, don't put thread lock. I mean, if you put a little bit of blue, tiny bit, to keep it from loosening. But honestly, when you're shooting this with the suppressor, just every once in a while, just check it. So that's one suppressor host that this is going on. The other one is this. A little heavy with all this stuff on it. This is a Ruger Precision Rimfire. So again, bolt is open, no magazine, no bullets, perfectly safe. This one has been fired. This is a tack driver. Nice heavy bow barrel. It's got the little Picatinny rail on the front, so I can just snap on my bipod on the front. It's got a a Vortex Viper 44, which is a 2.5 to 10x by 44 millimeter scope. Really nice glass. I think the scope is damn near as much as the, at least when I bought it, as much as the rifle. The rifle is customizable for the length of pull, for your cheek weld, to where you just instinctively go boom, and you're perfectly lined up. Really nice. Vortex makes really nice glass. So you've got a really nice bolt action, which again came with threaded barrel, which means that will spin right on and just give it a little bit of a snug, and there you are. You now have a suppressed 22 sniper rifle. I know it sounds stupid to call it that, because you know it's not really a sniper rifle, but if you're shooting small game, you want to shoot rabbits, groundhogs, prairie dogs, anything at reasonable ranges that a 22 rimfire would allow, you can go ahead and shoot that. And if you were to get subsonic 22 ammo, which I have, you're not going to hear the gun. You'll hear, I've talked to people, my buddy Alan, who's got this kind of a setup. His is a different rifle, but the same 22 suppressor. You know, at that point, a 16-inch barrel is a 16-inch barrel, or 18, whatever this one is. When he shoots the subsonic rounds out of his Sparrow, all you hear is the firing pin going thunk. The round itself is basically silent. It's crazy how quiet that is. So this is really, really cool. It weighs a good amount compared to like the size of this pistol. It's maybe half the weight of the pistol. So you do feel it on the front end, and it's not like you can carry this holstered with a suppressor on it. But that's the Sparrow. That's my first introduction. I did the Form 4. It was less than 2 months from me filling out, getting fingerprinted, doing all the stuff, submitting it to the ATF, going and certifying once everything was, the initial checks went through. And then I just got the email this afternoon from the Department of Justice saying, you're all approved, go pick up your suppressor. So I went over there to Georgia Gun Store in Gainesville, Georgia, and Kelly had it there waiting for me. Beautiful. I cannot wait to get to the range. Or maybe we'll go out to Kevin's property where we're outside and I can film a little easier and not have to worry about, other people around while I'm filming in the range and stuff like that. Sometimes people get weird about that shit. But that is the Sparrow, made by Silencer Co. Silencer 22, West Valley City, Utah. It's called the Sparrow 22. Even though it's, don't try shooting like I don't know if you can shoot a 22 Magnum out of a 22 long rifle. I'll have to research that. I don't have any 22 mags at the moment, I don't think. No, actually, well, I do, but it's a revolver, so it wouldn't fit on that anyway. So that's the new Sparrow. Well, new to me. They've been out for a while, but that's going to make a real nice, comfortable little plinker. I've always kind of liked the look of suppressors, and I know, sometimes it gets a little over dramatized in the media and stuff like that. But this should be a nice little plinker, and especially putting it on this bad boy, I think that's going to be just crazy fun. So anyway, right now, apparently a lot of people are reporting the ATF paperwork. If you've got a clean background check, and normally it goes through real quick, because this usually they could take 4 to 10 months to get that back. I was not expecting to get this before the end and before summertime, honestly, being that I didn't do it until early January or late December or something like that. So for me to be sitting here in February and it's already in my hands, awesome. So good job, government. It's not something I say very often. But yeah, I cannot wait to get this out to Kevin's property and sit here and, plink with this. And then if I were to, now typically if I'm going to go hunt coyote or something like that, I would use something bigger. But honestly, I've been watching guys with lever action 22 mags taking decent sized hogs. You got to get the right shot. You got to get a nice headshot at a fairly good angle so it doesn't, kind of bounce off the skull. But if you hit it fairly perpendicular, it will do its job if you're, within 50 yards or whatever. A lot of people have been killed with 22s over the years, more so than a lot of other calibers. Now, that may be because there's more 22s out there over the years, but I think this is going to be magnificent. And honestly, part of it is it just looks pretty cool. And it's going to be cool being able to shoot, especially if I'm outdoors. If I'm at the range, I'm going to have ear protection on anyway. But if I'm out at my buddy's property or something like that, or out in the woods or whatever, I can hear what's going on around me, and I don't have to have hearing protection. It will be completely unnecessary. So we'll do some testing with it, and I'll get some video of it. I'll see what Kev's schedule is now that he's back up in Dahlonega. Maybe we can go out there. We've been talking forever about doing a gun day, and we just haven't aligned our schedules. But anyway, that's the update for today. Finally got a legal suppressor. If you're going to go and get one, don't do the whole damn solvent trap thing and buying credit. You're just asking for trouble. People get arrested for stuff like that. Don't be an idiot. I know it's a pain in the ass and it's a muffler for a gun, and it's stupid that you have to go get the government's permission to exercise a constitutional right. But be that as it may, it's part of the NFA. It's been the law since 1934, so that's 90 years. It is what it is at this point until they change it. If you're going to do it right. Don't put yourself expose yourself legally or criminally. You get caught with a solvent trap or doing something like that. That can be a felony, which means you lose your right to own a gun for the rest of your life. You lose the right to vote. It's serious. If you're going to do it right. Do the paperwork as much as you hate it ideologically. And in this case, I paid as much for the paperwork and the background check and fingerprinting as I did for the damn silencer itself, but it's peace of mind. You get the form it's a PDF, you just keep it on your phone so it's always with you. So if you did run into law enforcement out in the woods or at the range and they're like, hey, I want to see, you got it right on your phone, you can pull it up, it's registered with the ATF so they can pull the serial number up and see that it's valid with them as well. Don't be the idiot and go get those fake solvent traps or fuel filters or any of those other dumb things. I'm convinced half of those ads are put up by the ATF to entrap you. I've seen people get busted online for that stuff, so don't be that guy. Anyway, hope you like it. I'm certainly going to like it when I go and shoot it, so go and check it out, and then wait. Give me a few weeks. We'll see if we can get some shooting video of it. We'll talk to you guys.